Thank you, Dr. Lambert. Good afternoon. As President of the Old Boys, it is my pleasure and honour to address the class of 22. I especially extend a warm welcome to all the parents, the carers, the grandparents and the family that are here today. But today, it's about the class of 22. What a journey. First and foremost, I welcome you to the Old Boys community and offer my support and guidance as you leave the sanctuary and shelter that the school has provided, as you enter the world of the somewhat unknown, sometimes confusing, and the always unpredictable. Boys, this may come as a surprise. However, you have not progressed to where you are today or achieved what you have achieved to date on your own. Your parents, your teachers, your carers, and your families have stood behind you, stood alongside you, and supported you to get you where you are today. There is a constant support, the dedicated encouragement, the blind faith and the personal investment that has allowed you to achieve your goals. So please join me in thanking all those of you who have supported you today. You began high school in the era of fidget spinners, Fortnite and Minecraft, and finished an era of social media addictions, TikTok obsession and the shared fear of the word lockdown. However, today I stand before you and say congratulations on getting through the stress of the pandemic, the droughts, the floods, and lastly, the iron fist of Mr. Potter. As President of the Old Boys Union, I get to talk to the Year 12 leavers as they move into adulthood and share some stories about the success of some of the old boys who have gone before you. However, today I want to talk about a few things in my life that have made my journey different and hopefully some stories that will help you get through yours. Stories of success, failure, resilience and strength. Life doesn't always go to plan. That's right, sometimes things just don't go your way. Sometimes things don't work out and sometimes you will just get it plain wrong. I started my career straight out of school in 1986 and at the ripe old age of 18 I walked straight into the booming stock market of 87 as a junior on the stock exchange trading floor. This was the 80s. Think Wolf Street on steroids. I remember I went for 5 job interviews in one day at various stockbroking firms and institutions. Pretty junior role and all looking to hire anyone who rocked up with a positive attitude and a glint in their eye. That was me. I was like a Labrador at feeding time. I remember one of the interviews was far more intense than the others, asking me about things like if I knew about puts, rights, condors and options, which at the time I had no idea what he was talking about, let alone even use these words in an English paper. The interview went on for about 30 minutes, eventually asking me when can I start and how much time do I have to give my previous employer notice. I told him I'm just out of school and this is my first job. He looked at me and said, "Aren't you Steve Jacobs? Aren't you here for the senior options role?" I said, "No, I'm Matt Collett. I'm here as a junior role." And he stood up, he patted me on the back and said, "Sorry, mate, that was handed out yesterday," and he walked out. And that was the 80s. I was pretty depleted after that meeting. However, the next day I got 4 phone calls asking me when I could start. I was thrilled and excited. I went and bought a suit. Actually, Mum bought me a suit. I remember sitting down with my parents that night working out which firm did I want to go and work for. And I tell that story and look back and I do laugh, and my kids have a laugh as well because it just doesn't happen anymore. I ended up choosing Australia's largest independent broking firm, McIntosh Hampson Hall Gavett. I started on a whopping $8,990 a year, but I was stoked. I was going to change my life and I was going to change it big. Within 3 months I was promoted to a more senior role and I was earning $15,000 a year. Wow, I was swimming in it. But on about month 6 of my distinguished career, one morning I came down to the trading floor as I did every day and the markets opened like they did every day. But this day there was something in the air, something I just didn't understand or comprehend. No one was talking, everyone was stressed, there was calm and panic at the same time. It was surreal. The markets finally opened and it was absolutely chaotic. I'd never seen such fear in people's faces. Fear led to panic, panic led to more fear. It was 19th of October 1987. Black Monday as it became to be known, the day of the largest one-day stock market fall in history. Within weeks, people had lost their fortunes, lost their jobs, broking firms were shutting around the world, and I lost my job and licked my wounds. In the space of 2 or 3 weeks, I'd gone from being on top of the world with an exciting, bright future to no work and no future. I picked myself up, went door knocking at any firm that would take me, which wasn't many. They were all shutting down and they were all laying people off. Through a Scots connection, I ended up getting a chance at a broking firm working in the back office. It was less money to what I started, but I took it with both hands. 6 months later, I was offered a role in the emerging markets, which was the interest rate futures market. Within 5 years, I was trading one of the largest books in Australia, and at the age of 28, I became the youngest director of Australia's largest broking firm, JB Weir. I ended up earning in one day what I was previously earning in a year. I ended up investing heavily in the stock market, buying properties like it was monopoly. By age 40, I was retired and started my investment consulting firm. But like 1987, something just didn't feel right. Something was stirring. The GFC hit. Like 87, the world seemed it was imploding and stress and panic took over. Everything I'd worked for was gone in 6 months. The world was a different place and jobs and companies were sparse. And the first time in my life, it was scary. When I was 19, I had to start again. I managed to work through these times and build up a business. I started a data security company and we sold it 5 years later. And I now own a cosmetic company that we sell to pharmaceuticals around the world. I'm president of the Old Boys Union. I sit on the East Rugby board and I give back instead of taking out. Over the years, I've learned what is important and what is luxury. The friends that you now sit with, are the friends that will have your back when the proverbial hits the fan. The memories and the experiences you gain from Scots are the ones that get you through the tough times. Not everyone is perfect, not everyone is a winner, but remember, you will always bounce back. Because sometimes, just sometimes, things don't go your way, sometimes things don't work out, and sometimes you just get it wrong. But what you've learned here at Scots and through your parents and family will always make you resilient. And hopefully you've learned to not only take the opportunities as they come, but also deal with the losses. After my years of trading, broking, starting companies, living through ups and downs, I've learned there is only one difference between winning and losing. My favourite quote, quitters never win, and winners never quit. Believe in yourself, believe in that education you have been given at Scots, the friendships you have made, the experience you've gained will turn you into a winner. No matter what industry you decide to eventually choose, whether it be arts, armed forces, medicine, law, finance, education, and the list goes on, you'll always find a Scots boy of influence who can help you in your endeavours and support your dreams. This is why the Scots Old Boys Union exists, to inspire you, to empower you, and to help you leave a lasting mark on Australian history. Your Old Boys Union is what you make of it, and I look forward to connecting with you throughout your time as a member, and my door is always open. Lastly, I commend you and I congratulate you on successfully completing Year 12. I wish you all the very best in the future, all the success of your lives and the luck of your endeavours. Before I conclude, I'd like to leave you with one of my inspirational quotes that I love from US President Teddy Roosevelt. He said, "The best decision to make in any given moment is the right decision. The second best decision is to make the wrong decision. The worst decision is to make no decision at all." Boys, never stop asking questions, never stop learning, and never stop making decisions. Thank you, and Scots to the fore.